Let your speakers blow.
Yeah. You know we charged to bring the gospel all over the world, right? But we can't forsake our own hoods. So if you ride with me on this one, I need you to go out to your front yard. Yeah. And lift him up. It's official, the game is locked now. Ever since we dropped down, came to set up shop and I'll be rocking on your spot. See, man, want us to stop, but can't, cause we were God.
Today's verse is in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 9. It says, God saved you by his grace when you believed, and you can't take credit for this. It is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done, so none of us can boast about it. I want to share with you a story about a man named John Newton. Now, this is a person that definitely did not earn their salvation. He was a bad man, and when I'm talking about bad, it's not in the good way. Unfortunately, at the age of 7, John lost his mother and grew up in the care of his drunken sailor father. Literally a drunken sailor. When John grew up, he himself turned into a drunken sailor in the British Navy. He once tried to desert the Navy, but was caught, so then he decided to start working on a slave ship. He literally became a slave trader. But soon, John was so hated by the slave traders that the slave traders themselves turned John into a slave. How bad do you have to have a slave trader think you're evil? So John eventually served as a slave, but one day that ship sank and John somehow survived. And during the voyage home, suddenly there was a major storm, and as the ship started to take on water, John suddenly prayed to God, and miraculously, I guess the ship was saved. This event led John to start reading his Bible. Now, he wasn't the perfect person after this, but after a few years, his faith grew. He eventually became a pastor, and John would later become an advocate against the slave trade. Today, John Newton is most widely known as the man who wrote the lyrics to a hymn. The hymn is called Amazing Grace. Can you believe that a song so popular and widely known throughout history was written by someone who was literally an evil, drunk slave trader? God's grace allowed someone like John Newton to be saved, his life changed, and then known forever in history as the author of one of the most beautiful hymns. Today, I want to ask you, how can you give yourself this amazing grace? Where in your life do you know or want this amazing grace to transform your life? And also, who in your life would you want to share this amazing grace with? Thanks.
Working on your corners, cause we controlling the block. Listen, don't need no props.